You're exhausted, aren't you? Just tired of giving your all to people who leave you feeling drained, heartbroken, and questioning your own sanity. You've read the articles, you know the red flags, and yet you still find yourself in the same toxic relationship loop, just with a different name and face. It always starts out amazing, but before you know it, you're back in the same cycle, having the same arguments and feeling the same soul-crushing disappointment. What if I told you there's one core reason this keeps happening, and one powerful shift that can break this cycle for good? It has nothing to do with finding a better person to date, and everything to do with changing your own internal wiring. Stick with me, because I'm about to share the one trick that will stop you from attracting the wrong person and finally open you up to the healthy, real love you actually deserve. So, why does this keep happening? Why do you feel magnetically pulled toward people who are emotionally unavailable, manipulative, or just a terrible match for you? The answer is something I call the invisible script. Think of your childhood as the rehearsal for this script. How you first learned about love, safety, and connection from your family literally wired your nervous system to consider certain dynamics normal. If the love you got was chaotic, inconsistent, or had strings attached, your subconscious mind learned to associate that very chaos with love. It's a strange, paradoxical feeling of safety. Your brain isn't searching for what's healthy, it's searching for what's familiar, because on some level, it knows you survived that dynamic before. This is why you can consciously know someone is bad for you, but still feel that off-the-charts chemistry. Let's be real. What we often call butterflies is actually our anxiety and fear systems lighting up because the dynamic feels familiar and unhealthy. We mistake the emotional roller coaster for genuine passion. It's a phenomenon deeply rooted in our attachment style, which is our personal blueprint for connecting with others. If you had caregivers who were neglectful, you might have an anxious attachment style, always looking for validation from partners who can't or won't give it. If your home felt unpredictable, you might find yourself drawn to that same drama in your adult relationships, because it's the only version of love your system truly recognizes. This isn't your fault. It's a deeply ingrained pattern. You're not consciously choosing pain, you're subconsciously drawn to what feels known. Sound familiar? This leads us to the most maddening part of the whole thing. You see the red flags. You know this person has the same controlling habits or emotional coldness as the last one, and yet you find yourself making excuses, giving them another shot, or trying to be the one to fix them. Let's be very clear. This is not a logic problem. You can't just think your way out of it. These patterns aren't stored in the rational part of your brain. They're wired into your emotional and survival responses. That intense pull you feel is often part of a trauma bond. This is where a cycle of good moments mixed with bad ones, what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, creates an addictive chemical hit in your brain, just like a slot machine. You keep pulling the lever, hoping for that jackpot of affection, even though you lose way more than you win. This is why so many smart, self-aware people get stuck. They think if they just find the right person, it'll all click. They don't realize they're carrying a magnet inside them that's calibrated to attract the very thing they're trying to escape. People with low self-worth, often stemming from these early experiences, unconsciously believe they don't deserve better, so they accept treatment that confirms this awful belief. You keep swapping out the actors, hoping for a different play, but you're the one holding the script. It's time to rewrite it. So, what's the one trick that changes everything? It's this. Stop looking for a person to be your safe haven, and start becoming that safe haven for yourself. The ultimate way to break this pattern is to shift your entire focus from what's out there to what's in here. It's about developing what we call a secure attachment with yourself. A secure attachment is built on trust, safety, and consistent care. When you learn to give that to yourself, you completely change the energetic signal you're sending out. You're no longer broadcasting neediness, fear, or a quiet tolerance for disrespect. You start broadcasting wholeness. Here's how you start. This isn't a quick fix. It's a practice. It involves 3 key steps. You can't heal what you don't see. The first step is to get brutally, compassionately honest with yourself about your patterns. Ask the tough questions. What did love look like in my family? Was I allowed to have needs and feelings? Was conflict handled with respect or with yelling and the silent treatment? Identifying your emotional blueprint gives you the map you need to get free. Understanding your specific attachment style, whether it's anxious, avoidant, or a mix, is a game changer. Once you see the pattern, you stop being a victim to it and start being the agent of change in your own life. This is where the real healing begins. Reparenting simply means giving yourself the support you might not have received when you were young. If you grew up with a lot of criticism, you practice self-compassion. When you mess up, instead of beating yourself up, you learn to say, "It's okay, you're human. What can we learn from this?" If your parents were emotionally distant, you learn to validate your own feelings. You sit with your sadness or anger and tell yourself, "It's okay that you feel this way. Your feelings make sense." This practice builds a rock-solid foundation of self-worth that doesn't depend on anyone else's approval, making you far less tolerant of poor treatment from others. Boundaries are the most loving thing you can do for yourself. They aren't walls to keep people out. They are clear, kind lines that show people where you stand. A lack of boundaries is a welcome mat for people who will take advantage. So, start small. Practice saying no without a long explanation. A simple but powerful boundary could be, "I'm not available for conversations where I'm being yelled at. We can talk about this later when we can both be calm." Notice how it's not an attack. It's a clear statement of your needs. The more you practice, the stronger your boundary muscle gets, and the more you teach people and yourself that your well-being is non-negotiable.
If this is hitting home for you, and you've just had a little aha moment, let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway is so far. It's so powerful to see we're not alone in this, and your story might just be the thing that helps someone else feel seen today.
Section 4. What happens when you become your own secure base?
When you truly commit to this internal work, something amazing happens. Your entire vibe changes. The wrong people, the ones who thrive on drama, control, or feeding off your insecurities, start to find you, well, a little boring. And trust me, that's a huge compliment. They won't get the reaction they're looking for. When they push a boundary, you'll calmly hold it. When they stir up chaos, you'll refuse to get in the ring. You are no longer an energetic match for their games, and they tend to lose interest. At the same time, you become magnetic to healthy, secure individuals. While attraction is always complex, you are building a foundation for a different kind of connection. People who are whole aren't looking for someone to fix or complete. They are looking for someone to share their wholeness with. They'll be drawn to your self-respect, your clear communication, and the calm confidence you radiate. And the best part? You won't be desperately seeking their approval because you already have your own. You'll be choosing a partner from a place of want, not a place of need. You stop attracting the wrong person because you are no longer a match for them.
For years, you might have believed that you were the problem, that you were too broken or too difficult to love. The truth is, you've just been running on an old, outdated program. You've been looking for the key to a happy relationship everywhere outside of yourself, but it's been in your pocket the whole time.
The most powerful trick to stop attracting the wrong person is to become the right person for yourself first. Become your own secure base. Become the source of safety, validation, and unconditional love you've been searching for. When you do that, you don't just upgrade your dating life, you upgrade your entire life. The love you deserve isn't something you have to chase anymore. It's something you'll attract naturally once you finally become the person you've been waiting for all along.
If you're ready to go deeper on this journey of self-healing and empowerment, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. And for a list of books and resources that can help you on this path, check out the links in the description below. Thank you for being here and doing this important work.